The color of distance is the color of an emotion, the color of solitude and of desire. Blue, blue, blau, blau, blauvis. The word travels through the air and disperses. Blue, blue, blau, blau, blauvis. I speak her name, and the word rings out like a bell. I can feel myself resonating in this room. I often wander, moving my body in no particular direction, my only guide being the fluctuating weather patterns that dictate the blue of the sky above me. Yet the sky can only tell me that blue is the color of where I am not, and I remember that the feeling of blue is not about an apparent sadness, but rather the sense of longing that pulls me forward. This feeling makes me realize that my body will continue to wander, searching for something that can never be touched. Have you ever heard of the famed indigo fields out in the moors of India? Whole plantations were dedicated to the plant, which would bloom into blue flowers. A peaceful picture, waving fields of flowers, but the conditions of the workers were harsh. Indigo would be grown as a cash crop, and the process to harvest and process the plant into dye was difficult, dangerous, and laborious. Workers wore full face masks, covering everything except for their eyes, to try to escape the putrid fumes. The blue leaked inward, filling the bodies of the workers. Perhaps it entered through their eyes. Even just gazing at the mixture caused it to creep inward. It is said that the workers would spit blue for days, and that an egg left near the vat would turn its contents blue. I watch myself here in this room. The silence of the film encapsulates me, and I'm made aware of my body interacting in space. We chose the space because it centered us. This space was a break from the landscape, and our action felt like a break in time. There is something ancient that we evoked that day, as I stood between the wide columns and turned that white sheet blue in the small bath. Did you see my hands turning blue? They were blue for days. No matter how hard I scrubbed, my skin was dyed blue. Slowly but surely, they unblued themselves, day by day, until finally the rosiness of my skin returned, and they no longer had that deathly pallor. I was not alone that day, but with you, standing, watching me through your lens, following my movements, I was alone. clipped up on that line, the fabric became a flag, a declaration of my action. We feared that the wind would overtake us and the sheet would be ripped from the line and would fly like a ghost up into the eaves, but I secretly wished to set it free. My heart was lifted along with the sheet. The music returned to me, but watching it here now, the silence overwhelms. There is no music in this room, but I can hear it bubbling, coursing in me, as I did when I stood by and watched. And do you remember the day that we climbed up to the roof to try to capture a piece of that broad blue sky? The wind tousled my hair, and I thought of that sheet that we'd trapped between those two columns, tossing wildly in the wind, trying to free itself to join the blue sky like a loose kite. You were there too, although you were hidden. I know how it feels to be a witness. I do it all the time. How does it feel to be exposed? To feel the gaze of the lens bounced back to you? Do you feel like you've been revealed? Now, your hiding place has been upended, and now we are together. We are this blue. Our body knows no bounds. We feel expansive, like we could fill this world with our sensations, with our light.